race. I felt like I had a little bit of an electrical problem, which caused a banging, a misfire of some sort, and I think that is what hurt the engine and mine, not really the pace itself.
When you go that fast, tough to hang back. I know, Rick. Thank you. Sorry you're out of this.
Thank you.
He's still never won here in the 500 at Michigan, Paul.
And Bobby Rahal goes side by side with Al Unser Jr., and Rahal has the lead of the race again as they work their way past Billy Vukovich to third. Now Rahal out in front. They continue a tremendous fight, the first two cars, and as they do, they continue to pull away from third place Mario Andretti, who is 2 laps behind the pace.
Only in the days of Roger Penske teammates do we ever see teammates running so hard against each other. These guys are really going after it. Now, it's going to be a contest. They've got about 35, 40 laps left to go, about 35. It's going to be a contest to see whether they're going to break each other. So we got to watch, Paul.
And speaking of the Penske organization, now with Rick's car behind the wall, all 3 Penske cars are out. The last time that happened was the 1989 Indianapolis 500. Now Al Unser Jr. pulls on his teammate Bobby Rahal. The fight continues at the front of the field.
And also keep in mind, when little Al is running that close to Rahal, there he's trying right there, and there he goes by. Another pass.
Al Unser Jr. back in front again.
Keep in mind that the temperature, the water temperature, if they tuck in as tight as they do right there, these engines are making about 760 horsepower. Creates a lot of heat in the engines.
Let's go to Jackaroo.
Well, we watched here in the Craco pits, and the man that came over to have a conversation was one of the owners. He came to talk to Barry Green, and he gave you some words of wisdom. The man that came to do the speaking was none other than Rick Gallis. What did Rick just tell you? What did Rick just say to you, Rick Gallis?
We're just talking about trying to run a little easier pace, but both drivers want to win this race, so we're going to have to leave it up to them.
All I can tell you, gentlemen, is when Rick left, he had a big smile on his face.
Well, that'd be the problem, trying to convince both these guys to slow it down. I mean, they have a 4-mile lead over the third-place car of Mario Andretti, but trying to convince them to slow it down.
Well, as we said earlier, it's the RPM that makes the difference. When you turn, like, for example, 12,300 or 400 versus the 11,700, really makes a difference, and especially at a track like this where you really don't back off all the way around.
I'm sure that drivers like Rahal especially, who's a historian, thinks back to the 40s and the Blue Crown cars at Indianapolis when Bill Holland was given the easy board, slowed down, and his teammate went screaming past him. I'm sure that's in their mind. There's Eddie Cheever in 4th place.
Well, Rahal does have a degree in history. He was a B-plus student at Denison. Let's just never forget, too, about this battle. It is a lot of fun to race like this, forgetting all the statistics, the championship situation, the money, the team politics, and everything. When you're there at the wheel, you tend to forget all of that stuff, and it's terrific to race.
Well, Bobby, isn't there also a danger of once you've got a pace set, if you try to modify off it, you actually may be in greater peril?
Well, that's often the case, Paul, with the driving problems. But in this particular case today, it's really been an engine problem all day, and it's RPM. We've heard from just about everybody, and the race is just a whole lot faster than we anticipated.
Shelly Unser can't believe it either as Al Unser Jr. ducks down inside Rahal again, and the lead swaps one more time. A tremendous battle. The average pace is still 8 miles an hour above the record as Rahal tucks in behind Little Al and drafts him. And Rahal's going back for the lead. 221 laps complete.
I don't think we ever see racing at Michigan as good as this, as close to the end as this is. Guys are really flying.
Tremendous tremendous Michigan 500. About to say the fastest 500-mile race of any kind. It's still holding on to that reputation at better than 188 miles an hour. And the leaders are turning laps at just under 218 miles an hour.
Bobby Rahal, a very determined driver. Nothing but second-place finishes this year. No win. He's got the bit between his teeth. He really wants to win this race bad.
Of course, the Michigan 500 has produced some incredibly close races. 1984. Mario over Sneva by 14 1/100ths of a second. Emerson Fittipaldi over Al by 1/5 of a second in 1985.
Little Al's pass to go by into turn 3 just like he's doing right now.
Rahal comes back to the front of the field as the fight continues. Will the engines hold? Will the fuel hold to the finish? 224 laps are in the record book.
And just keep another thing in mind. Second place is not important when it comes to winning. People only remember first place. That's what both of these drivers are thinking right now, Paul.
So Bobby Rahal leads his teammate at the moment. Boy, we hate to get away from this battle, but there are, after all, commercial considerations, and we do want to see the end of the Michigan 500. As there is Al Unser Jr. still trying on Bobby Rahal with 224 laps complete. We'll be back for the finish of the Michigan 500 right after this.